All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday, and instead of an adventure, I have an emergency video for you guys. So I got into a conversation the other day with a guy that's restoring a Japanese motorcycle, and he had never heard of JIS screwdrivers. So if you're watching this video right now and you have never heard of JIS screwdrivers and you work on older Japanese bikes, you need to keep listening. So many years ago when I first got my first, junker Japanese little pit bike or something like that, and I dove into it, I grabbed my favorite Phillips screwdriver and I just went nuts and started to take everything out. And I quickly realized, man, these screws are cheese. They suck. They strip out in like 2 seconds. And I ended up having to slot the tops of the screws and using a flathead to get them out, ruining all the screws and not being able to put them back in. So, after a couple of years of that or something and getting with an older guy that, was more accustomed to working on the bikes, he said, well, you are using JIS screwdrivers. Well, up until that point in my life, I had never even heard the term JIS screwdriver. But what a JIS screwdriver is a Japanese industry standard screwdriver that is completely different than the American Phillips head screwdriver that we use. A quick look at them, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They look the same. It's like, hey, it's a Phillips, it's a Phillips. But in reality, JIS screwdrivers are cut way differently. They're cut much more shallow, and the internal part of where the blades are is way more squared off, where the American version has like a weird little inside part. In fact, here, let me pull up a diagram. You can look over here and see that the American one under close examination is completely different. And the problem with that is that the JIS screws that are in your motor, the heads are much shallower, and how deep the grooves go in are much shallower. So if you use an American screwdriver, basically what happens is the head doesn't go down into the driver does not go down into the head decent enough, and then when you turn it, you literally just cam the top of the screw out and it just strips it out. Whereas if you get a proper JIS screwdriver, it goes all the way down in, the internals fit perfectly, and look, this screw right here hasn't been touched since I pulled this motor. It probably hasn't been moved since 1976. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the JIS screwdriver in there. We're gonna give it a blast and see if we can get it out. All right, so I added another camera so we can get a good angle of this, so here's my JIS screwdriver. It's gonna go into here. I'm gonna push down and, all right. It broke it loose, did not strip it. You can see on this one right here, somebody else has used an American screwdriver on it and has wallowed out the head. So we're gonna see if we can even fit this in. There we go. Look at that, I even got a stripped one out. Let's see if we can get any of these. Every single one's coming out. And these things haven't been moved for, 40 years. All right, guys, this was just a quick one, but I'm telling you right now, JIS screwdrivers and old Japanese motorcycles go hand in hand. If you've never had them, they will change your life. I'm talking about instead of 75% of the screws on that motor that haven't been touched in 50 years stripping, maybe one will strip. And if somebody else got their greasy mitts on your motor and messed up some of the screw heads, a lot of times you can still push them in there and it'll straighten it out. But seriously, one of the best bangs for the buck that you can do to make your life easier if you work on Japanese motorcycles. So this one's not dumb and it works, but you know what we say, if it works, it ain't dumb. So please like and subscribe. We have a whole bunch of cool videos coming up. I have a special one from that sidecar racing day that I'm trying to get finished. And next week is Mid-Ohio. So obviously we're gonna be out at Mid-Ohio shooting the whole time. And if you're going to Mid-Ohio Vintage Days, come check us out. We'll be at the Cleveland Moto tent, kind of the FEMA camp down in the campground area. We'll have Nada ramp, all kinds of stuff. In fact, if you come down and you don't bring anything, come see us at the tent. We'll take care of you. We'll have everything you need to have a good time. All right, so once again, if it works, it ain't dumb. See you guys on the next one.